This Florida city hit an elderly couple in their 80s with a $366,000 fine. And it wasn't because they ignored any rules or were trying to cheat the system. They did everything right. But the city didn't care. They slapped them with a bill so insane it could wipe out their entire life savings. In this video, I'll show you how doing the right thing turned into a six-figure nightmare, how cities are secretly trying to profit on the backs of taxpayers, and what every Florida homeowner needs to know to avoid this same trap. Let's jump in. Kenneth and Mildred Bordeaux aren't criminals. They're not slumlords. They're just an elderly couple in their 80s trying to hang on to their family home in Lauderdale Lakes.
I don't have that much longer. I'd bet my life on it.
Kenneth Bordeaux thinks he's running out of time. He's 82, his wife Mildred is 80, struggling after triple bypass heart surgery, hip replacement, and a stunning list of fines threatening one of their most valuable assets, a place they hope to will to family members. The home Kenneth inherited from his parents, he and his wife rent to pay their bills.
I feel like I'm just being beat on with a sledgehammer. And I don't understand it.
They're living on a fixed income and are supposed to be enjoying their retirement years in peace. But instead, they're in a full-blown fight with the city that could cost them everything.
After evicting a tenant last year, code inspectors showed up. Between March and November, they found 6 violations: broken window frames and handles, cracked electrical outlet covers, smoke detectors needing replaced, interior doors needing repair, inside walls too, and peeling paint. A couple claims they fixed it all, but it took more than 220 days for inspectors to verify compliance. So $1,500 a day fines for each violation piled up. The couple faces a whopping $366,000 bill to pay. If not, they are stuck.
You tried to fix these things.
Everything is closed. Everything is closed. I just want to get this lien over and done with.
Now seriously, imagine your own parents in their 80s having to hire a lawyer and fight the city all on their own. My parents have a hard time logging into YouTube. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Now, Kenneth and Mildred followed the rules. They did everything right. Then, out of nowhere, they get hit with a letter saying they owe $366,000. How do you even process that when you're in your 80s, just trying to live out your final years in peace? This isn't just some paperwork screw-up. It's now a battle to prove their innocence and reclaim their life. And here's where it gets wild. Even though Kenneth and Mildred made the repairs right away, city inspectors took 222 days to come back and verify that the repairs had actually been made. That's over 7 months of silence. But while the city was taking their sweet time, they kept fining them. This sounds like a scam or some kind of massive money grab to me. So what do you do when it feels like the city's trying to rip you off? You hire a lawyer and fight back. And that's exactly what they did.
Their lawyer says the fines are excessive and unfair.
You can't charge someone $65,000 for a broken window crank, $55,000 for a broken plate. It's absolutely mind-blowing to say that we're going to hold your property hostage and we're not going to allow you, okay? We're not going to allow you to do what you want with your property, to pass it on to your next of kin and your loved ones because of window cranks and plastic covers.
So after that, Kenneth and Mildred took the next step and applied for a lien reduction. That's where the city takes a look at the case and can make a decision to cut down the fines. And you would think that this is where an adult is going to enter the room and realize that the elderly couple is being taken advantage of. But no, even after all that, the city only offered a 10% discount. So instead of $366,000, they still owe over $300,000 just to clear the liens and keep their property. This isn't just financial, it's emotional too. Kenneth and Mildred said they want to leave their home to their family when they pass, and now the city's standing in the way of their legacy. But it gets even worse. The city's 2025 budget shows something pretty scary.
In this adopted budget summary, Lauderdale Lake City Manager says the previous year's revenues remain flat. Future years may not be able to absorb increases in expenses with no adjustments to fees. During the upcoming fiscal year, staff has been challenged to seek strategies to reduce expenses and or create new revenue opportunities. Under general fund revenues, staff projected they'd make $300,000 from code enforcement liens and another $4,000 on code compliance citations. That's a 161% increase in revenue.
And that's exactly why Kenneth and Mildred's attorney is pushing back. He says these kinds of outrageous fines aren't just unfair, they're illegal. There are laws in place to stop this stuff from happening, and cities aren't supposed to be using code enforcement as a money grab. He's still in talks with Lauderdale Lakes, trying to get the fines lowered, the liens wiped out, and more importantly, get the city to fix the broken system before more people get caught up in it. But guess what? Kenneth and Mildred aren't the only ones caught up in this BS. Wait until you hear about Alan Levy. He's a commercial property owner in Lauderdale Lakes, and he's facing nearly $1 million in code violation liens. Yeah, so far he's the winner with the highest fine, almost $1 million. Here's what's going on.
3 years ago, one of Levy Realty's tenants renovated an office in this warehouse. They made a bathroom accessible, removed walls, and changed lighting without proper permits.
Very minor, by the way. There was no life safety issues here.
Levy shoulders blame and says he immediately tried to comply with code enforcement and pay fines.
So Levy took responsibility and said he'd take care of the violations, figuring it cost him around $18,000 to knock out the minor repairs. Not chump change, but the dude sounds like a solid guy. He stepped up to handle it without an argument because he says he doesn't want to fight City Hall. But guess what happened next?
It took, I would say, 7 or 8 months to do $18,000 worth of minor work to cure the violation, one delay after another from the city for many different unknown reasons.
But he says inspectors took more than 1,000 days to verify full compliance, leading to that $740,000 lien.
When I went in for my lien reduction, they said that we don't have a platform for that. You're going to have to speak to the city attorney.
More than a month later, he's still waiting for the city attorney to respond. Levy kept silent until Tuesday night.
I can't be the only victim. There's obviously other people that are suffering.
Here's the problem with a lot of cities today. They got compassion for deadbeats and criminals, but not for tax-paying citizens who are trying to do the right thing. Now, I'm with Levy on this one. My wife and I own apartment buildings in Michigan, and we view the city as a partner too. I also agree with cities requiring certificate of occupancies and coming out and doing inspections on rental properties because that levels the playing field for all properties, keeps landlords honest, and it also makes sure that tenants are moving into a place that's not an absolute shithole. But the cities I deal with actually do their jobs. They come out and inspect in a timely manner, and they definitely wouldn't leave me hanging for 222 days and fine me for it. And I gotta give a huge shout out to CBS News Miami's journalist, Larry Seward. He bit into this thing like a pit bull, and he's not letting go.
Voicemail.
CBS News Miami called the mayor for an explanation. This comes after she and Commissioner Easton Harrison declined comment around a Chamber of Commerce event Thursday. We also emailed every commissioner and took our questions before the entire commission in recent days.
The fines that they face, $366,000, are those excessive?
Thursday, a city spokesperson told us, quote, because the matters are pending litigation before a magistrate, it would be inappropriate to comment, end quote.
In my opinion, the city is running out of money fast, and they're trying to squeeze the residents for as much money as they can. This is super shady, and I think the Florida Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, needs to look into what the mayor and the council are trying to get away with. All right, so what do you do if this happens to you? You fix something up, think everything's good, and then out of nowhere, the city hits you with a giant fine. First thing, don't panic, but don't sit on it either. You've got to take action fast because these fines add up stupid quick, and once a lien shows up, getting rid of it is a whole other headache. Start by doing everything the city requires. You need to jump through their hoops and go as far as you can just to solve it on your own. But if that doesn't work and you hit a wall with the city, you got a more powerful option. Step 2 is reaching out to your Florida House representative. Doesn't matter if you voted for them or not, their job is to help people in their district, and they've got a team that deals with stuff exactly like this. Go to this address to find your representative, type in your address, and it'll show you who to contact. I'll drop it in the description below this video too. From there, just reach out. It doesn't have to be some big long story. Just be straight up with them. Tell them what's going on, how much the city's charging you, and how it's affecting you. They deal with this kind of stuff all the time. Now, just so you know, you're probably gonna hear back from one of their staff members. That's normal. These people are trained to help with local government issues, and they'll know if it's something that needs to go to the Attorney General's office, legal aid, or if they can help sort it out themselves. But they're not going to ignore it. They'll work the channels and help you figure out your next move. And while you're doing that, make sure you got everything documented. Take clear photos of all the repairs, hang on to all your receipts, and save every notice or letter and write down the dates that things happened. That way, if the city says, well, we didn't know it was fixed, you got the proof to show otherwise. Stay ahead of it, because once that fine starts growing, the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Look, I know this is just a YouTube video, but I really hope someone out there shares this with the right person. Someone who can actually step in and help Kenneth, Mildred, and Mr. Levy. Whatever's going on in Lauderdale Lakes needs to be called out, and people need to be held accountable. From the outside, it sure feels like the city messed up with their finances, and now they're trying to climb out of the hole on the backs of their own residents. And that's no bueno. And this isn't the only city in Florida that's screwing over its residents. Click here to learn why taxpayers are being forced to bail out Florida condo owners. You won't believe what this condo building got away with and how long the city let it slide. Is it fair if a building goes broke, water gets shut off, and the owners get kicked out, that the taxpayers need to pay the bill? Click here to find out.